What's on the playlist, baby? What's on the playlist, baby? What's on the playlist, baby? What's on the playlist?
Yo, 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 welcome back, everybody. This is Season 3, Episode 67 of What's on the Playlist. My name is Chris Romero.
My name is Tony Pacheco.
And what's up, y'all? It's Victoria.
And we are three DJs out of Albuquerque, New Mexico with Cutmaster Music. And on this pod, we like to discuss our weekly events and dive into our weekly playlist topic. And today, we're going to get a little techie with you on it. So this one, the episode, once we dive into the playlist here, I believe that this is going to be helpful for both vendors and for our couples that are in the midst of wedding planning out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, definitely.
So let's jump right into it and talk about this past week in the world of Cutmaster Music. We actually had a wedding this week.
Ooh.
There you go. First wedding of the year, baby.
Right. And it felt like it. It felt like the first wedding of the year. It felt like the first
Nice.
wedding of my life.
I'm excited to hear about it, honestly.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, vendors out there can probably appreciate. I know the photographers that we were working with over the weekend. We were all it was their first wedding as well for 2025. And gosh, there really is something to be said for being in wedding shape.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
just all the way around, right? Like you loading up gear, setting up gear. I mean, I'm still sore.
Yep.
Yep.
It's partially because I'm 46, but you know. But yeah. But so I was out at Hotel Albuquerque with our wedding. I would say this was roughly about 200 people.
Mm-hmm.
We had different dynamics going on with this. Groom's side of the family is mainly from the East Coast. The bride side is from here. They actually live in Texas, the bride and groom. So
Nice.
it was kind of a destination wedding, you know.
Definitely.
But but it was good. Overall, I would say the event went well. Bride and groom had an amazing time. Myself, the DJ, I don't know if I had an amazing time. Not because
Elaborate,
of the wedding.
though. I'm intrigued why you're saying
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Like I said, it felt like a first event, and it just all from the get-go. From the arrival and just setting up gear and equipment, I was having issues with audio. Long story short, that turned into me purchasing a brand new mixer this week.
There you go.
Where I had an audio channel that decided to just die on me, which wasn't cool. But again, they never knew any different. Having experience and knowledge, having backups on hand, that sort of thing, figured it out. I had lighting technical issues. We had brand new moving headlights that I thought I had figured everything out.
Of course.
In the office. And of course, when you get out into the field and you start testing things out, they're not working. The wireless stuff wasn't working properly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I was scrambling really up until we started with the ceremony, which was off. It was at the chapel. But, we arrived there at 1 o'clock to start setting up. I honestly had planned that setup was only going to take about maybe 2 or 3 hours, really.
Yeah.
And it was a larger setup for us, but I had a lot of help. Jonas was with me, Litzy and Joe. And so there are 4 of us. I figured no problem, right?
Yeah.
Get the setup and we're going to have a lot of
It's a solid crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of
Ready
extra
to go.
time. And I'm scrambling up until the last moments. Just I needed all 5 hours. And this is one of those situations where I am super thankful that I built in plenty of just buffer time because
Yeah.
Definitely.
Great reason to get there early,
Yeah.
right? Because
I needed
after all that stuff, it's still nice to know you have a little bit of buffer time and able to handle troubleshooting or just
Exactly.
any kind of problems. You know, like if things are made to fail, they will fail. Or like there's a phrase that's something like that.
Yeah.
If it's made
Yeah,
to
yeah.
fail, it'll fail or something. So
60% of the time it works 100%
There
of
you
the
go.
time. Yeah,
Yep.
all the time, right?
Yep.
Like,
that's and it's
Exactly.
important to be prepared on a wedding day because if you didn't have the proper backups or the troubleshooting knowledge, then you're kind of SOL, and that's
Yeah.
not what you need to be on a wedding. You
Exactly.
need to be prepared.
Or having to
ready.
run back and forth and grab this
Sure.
and
going back to the office. and
takes a
getting-
lot of time
Yeah.
and it makes it more stressful for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's definitely. I was keeping track on my Fitbit here.
Your heart rate monitor?
The heart rate monitor got up over 150 for about a sustained half hour, 45 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Good times.
High stress situation for sure.
Man. But once again, this is part of being a professional. and having systems in place that
Definitely.
just backups and things like that. So it got to the ceremony. Ceremony went perfect. No problems there. We just plug into their house system. I played her playlist. She was a Swiftie. So
Nice.
for the
Woo woo.
pre-ceremony music, she had a list of like 10 Taylor Swift piano covers, which is cool. And
Okay.
I like it.
yeah,
That's a fun way to make it unique, right? Like you can still kind of theme it out towards a certain part of the day, but like they're covers of your favorite artists. That's like
Yeah,
a perfect way.
Definitely.
right. So, yeah, and the event was cool. They had this was really cool. Okay. During dinner, and I'm like, this is one of those moments like, duh, why haven't I thought about this in like the 20 years I've been DJing, right? For dinner, they created a playlist using family member and like really close friends, their first dances. And
Oh.
so what was cool was they would go out and dance like
Oh, that is
during
so
dinner.
sweet. I love that.
Yeah.
And then like more started kind of coming in like during dinner, right?
Yeah.
It
that
just
the-
encouraged it kind of.
it really did.
Yeah.
And it made for just like it was really cool. And people like when they got word of what was kind of happening, it
Got
really
people
was
excited. Oh, are they going to play our first
Yeah.
dance song?
And it's kind of like the anniversary dance, but with a new twist in
Yeah.
a really, really cool way. I like that.
and they were all different. So like one of them was signed, sealed, delivered,
Sure.
right?
Oh,
Like which is a little
yeah.
bit more kind of upbeat,
Yeah.
cocktail vibe. But then like a lot of slow dances and stuff, and it really was cool. And it's something I'm gonna moving forward, as a suggestion when people are looking for like cool little
For
touches.
dinner.
Definitely. Yeah.
It was pretty neat.
I
So
love
A lot
that.
of couples will come up to you and be like, "What do you suggest to be played during
Yeah.
dinner?" And that's perfect suggestion.
yeah.
It really is. That's a great suggestion. Yeah.
So I thought that was a cool touch. Open dancing was awesome. Their list was, it was really all over the board. And then when I started
That's what you need.
taking requests, there was some crazy stuff. Like there was like an 8-minute track of a Meatloaf song that I
Nice.
personally had never heard of, or
But did they enjoy it?
they were out there. So it was meaningful to this side of the family, right? And they're like, we
Fair.
play this at all our events.
That's all that
and
matters.
Yeah, right. As long as they're creating those memories, those moments, it's weird to us.
I grabbed it and
It's foreign.
yeah,
Yeah.
mhm.
I looked at it and I was like, 8 minutes? I was like, what? And I was like, okay, I'm going to play about a minute and a half,
You
2
get a
minutes of this.
taste,
And
we'll get out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
they kept telling me, just keep it going. And I just let it roll. And they
Alright.
did.
All 8 minutes.
Yeah.
It was,
That's crazy. That's cool though.
yeah,
I mean,
it was cool. Everything from that to like, and then we went to the complete opposite side where we clubbed it out and Drake and Lil Wayne and a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, that's
too.
what you
Dope.
need, though. Everybody wants kind of the best of both worlds.
sure.
And you want to make sure that they're having fun with the oldies or those specific songs that are kind of random. But then, creating
Yeah.
those club-like atmospheres, they tend to evolve towards the end of the night.
Yes,
versus like the beginning of
definitely.
the evening. But that's great. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
So it was cool. All in all, I would say it was stressful for me, not stressful for them. They gave us a nice tip at the end of the night.
And that's what's
Nice.
important, though. Like, they didn't even realize for a second you had any
You were
kind of
under
issues.
pressure. Yeah.
Right. So it was good. Good to
Cool.
finally get the horses running for
Mhm.
for wedding season this year. So did you guys have anything this weekend?
I did. I had
Yeah.
a event at Sandia on Thursday.
Nice.
Oh, that's
So,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, those events are cool. They are a lot of old school music. So in
Nice.
terms of like funk,
Mhm.
lots of disco, and that was
fun.
like a cool. Yeah, it's always a cool thing,
love
just to
that
see
stuff.
that how they interact with it. And then also, I've been using Pulse DJ, which has been extremely helpful.
Yeah.
In especially in that space. Like I was running Pulse with my Serato. So for you guys that don't know what Pulse is, it's basically like an AI, basically like song finder for you. So if you play a
The
couple
song
songs,
suggestions.
exactly, like it'll suggest what songs might work with what vibe you're going with.
Mhm.
So that was very, very helpful. There was definitely, I would say I pulled about maybe less than 10 tracks off of Pulse. But those 10 tracks really, really, really worked well
Mhm.
with the vibe I was going for.
It kind of goes into those like the deep cuts or songs you maybe didn't think
It
about.
does. It absolutely does. And
Or-
there's songs that I forgot about
Yeah.
that I didn't even think would work, like Midas Touch. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't even think of that song
Yeah.
at all, and it suggested that, and I'm like, oh, this will be perfect. And
Mhm.
of course, it crushed. Everybody was up dancing, they were vibing to it, and I was like, see, like this is so
Yeah.
helpful for things like this.
I'm all, and that's what I like about tools like that as well. You know, it's I mean, and we're going to talk about that today. And actually, that's
Yeah.
pretty much a great segue into the topic, you know, of getting techie, which we'll do in just a minute here. But we're gonna dive deeper into how we are
Yeah.
using tools,
Yep.
AI tools like that in our everyday workflow.
Yeah, I love just the overall pulse. Where I'm interested to see is how like relevant it is up to date. Because
Yes.
with settings like that, weddings, maybe an old school set, it's probably got a great catalog of stuff that's already been played and
For sure.
popular stuff. But what about for this year? Is it going to be able to know whatever is right?
What's trending
Yeah.
or what's up to date with
Yeah.
things?
I'm
Yeah.
just curious to see, but I love it already.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty up to date. I've used it once or twice these last few weeks in the club setting, and
Are you playing
same
up? You're
thing.
playing the up to date stuff.
Yep, up to date stuff. I Spice, Glorilla, Little Uzi Vert, like just things like that, and it's like the suggestions are great. So
Nice.
yeah, I have used it in terms of like a little bit more up to date music.
Mhm.
And I mean it's super awesome. I
Love it.
love it.
It's
It's
great.
great. Yeah,
Such a good tool.
It is. It's really really cool, and I just love too how it gives you like multiple suggestions
hmm
instead of just like one or two. It gives you like 10,
Yeah.
and then it tells you how relevant it is to your set. Like this
Mhm.
one could be super powerful to your set, as
Yeah.
opposed to the number 10.
It like
That's like
power ranks the songs. kinda.
exactly. Yep, exactly. So
Oh.
yeah, fun stuff at
Nice.
Sandia, and super fun set. And Pulse really helped add some cool bangers to the set list that night.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yep.
Love it.
Do you have anything, Tony?
I did not. Fiery Food Show, Harlem Globetrotters, and the Lobos.
Cool.
Nice.
Busy weekend.
You know what though, but like when I go to events like the Globetrotters, like I think it's kind of natural the just the entertainment production side of things, right?
Oh,
to
yeah.
see
I
like
was
what they
looking
do,
at it.
like how
Definitely.
are they keep the crowd entertained?
They
and-
mic up one of the players,
Right.
and he's like talking up the whole time. But
That's
it's
cool.
fun. It's really engaging, and I feel like it's definitely geared more towards children.
Totally
But if you
perfect for you.
yeah. I feel like if you open it up and just kind of like let yourself to have fun and not be so critical on like this is stupid, you know?
Right,
what I
right, right.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's like
Just
I
have
even
fun.
feel like with DJs too, right? I mean, DJs are the first people to crap all over each other, you know, and it drives me nuts when I see like in a lot of the forums and places like that I don't play cheesy music, I don't
Sure.
play line dances, I don't do that kind of stuff, and it's like, well, who is this about you? Or is it
Yeah.
about the people and the clientele that you're trying
Yeah.
to serve, right?
It worked there. Whatever they were serving up at the Globetrotters,
Yes.
everybody was eating it up, right? And so
And I feel like sometimes events like that
Mhm.
specifically are made to be silly, made to
people
be
seek
goofy.
that out. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
about
what you're there
having
for.
fun. Yeah, it's about
Mhm.
having fun, and that's exactly what you're there for.
Which is why, when bringing it back to the weddings, a lot of people, we hear the Cupid Shuffle week in, week out, right?
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
This is like their
Yep.
once a
That's the
year,
big
maybe
thing.
once every 2 or 3 years if they're older, right?
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't wait. Like, I haven't done the Cupid Shuffle in forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to get, I feel like sometimes we got to get out of our own bubble and put ourselves in our guests' shoes, right?
Yep.
Someone that's been looking forward to a lot of this stuff. And so, like, for me, I was talking with you both before the show started about some of the songs that I played. Like, I played one that was an 8-minute track by Meatloaf I had never even heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, like, I didn't know how it was going to go over. It didn't. When I'm previewing it in my headphones, I'm like, oh my God, no.
Yeah.
Like, and then finally, I just found a space where I was like, I'm going to try it and drop it in, because I kept having family members like hitting me up, like, to play this song.
That's
Yeah.
a good sign when you get more than one.
Right, and that's kind of why I
sure.
felt more
Yeah.
comfortable. And they're like,
Like,
"You got to play it."
okay.
And then one of them came up and said, "Hey, we do this at all of our family events. You got to play it." And I was like, "All right,
You gotta play it.
perfect, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna
Trust me.
everybody's gonna dance." When I've already got a packed dance floor, and
Yes.
I'm like, "You're
Yeah.
gonna kill this, right?"
Yeah.
But they did.
Yeah.
And they went out there, and it was a cheesy,
Yep.
it was a cheesy Meatloaf track, and what they loved it. They're singing it. It's an anthem, and like that's one of the things that they're gonna take away and remember from the night.
Yeah, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, it's so
Like-
true.
Well, and like honestly, like I'll probably never play that song ever again. I
For
don't
sure.
know,
Probably
but
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
for that night and for that moment, so you can't be afraid to like let the guard down. Like who cares about the noise of people telling
As
Definitely.
long as the guests are having fun,
you, right? Go to the Harlem Globetrotters. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Go
And then we
get-
did the fiery food show. That was dope too. A lot of
Oh,
hot
yeah.
sauces.
Cool.
How are your taste buds?
Good. My stomach though.
Ah,
I've finally recovered. I'm back today.
Good.
Yesterday
yeah.
I was still down bad. But
Yeah.
that's how I felt with some of them. They were like, it's not that hot.
it's not that hot.
You're
And
like,
then
yes,
I
it
was
is.
like, oh my God, I'm
This
sweating.
habanero.
Okay, so that makes sense because on Thursday I was wondering what was going on because there were so many people inside the casino.
Nice.
And like usually it is pretty good on Thursdays by itself, but
Yeah.
there was so many different people in there and I was like, what's going on? So it was that
Mhm.
It was
They
a
were.
little
I think
extra.
it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you had
Cool.
all the vendors coming
coming in, yep,
Probably stayed on property.
for
It's
sure.
great.
Yeah.
Love that.
Nice.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, let's dive into the playlist today.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
And we are going to get techie. That's really the topic is tech and new tech and different apps and technologies that we're using
Yep.
that our couples are using and that we are personally using and that vendors are using. So I think this we're going to sprinkle a little bit for everybody out there.
Yep.
So hopefully you guys get some nuggets out of this. And first, let's just go dive into AI. All right. And I know in previous episodes, we've talked about how we are personally using AI for things like social media and maybe web development and things like that. But one of the trends that I'm seeing just across a lot of different industry boards is using AI for actual vendor search. I mean, AI is becoming
Yeah.
it's the new search engine.
Yep.
That was going to be one of my takeaways kind of at the end of it all was that as I look through all of these things, when it comes to like wedding planning help, all of these different things, they are using AI search engines. So us as business owners or people who are putting out a service or anything like that, you have to be aware of what these AI search engines
Yep.
are looking for, these AI agents. And I think that's where it speaks to having kind of multiple avenues of media, websites,
I agree.
social.
Yep.
I think for you vendors out there especially,
Yeah.
I know people have talked about, oh, I'm getting away from websites. Well,
Yeah.
guess what AI is using? AI is using your website and your backlinks that connect to your website and your social media and all those links, and it's deriving its artificial intelligence from all this network that's being cast out there, right?
Think of a
Yep.
brain digging through your website at 100 times speed who is able to dissect everything really, really fast, and then it'll do that to 5 other websites and then put it in a nice box for a couple looking for a DJ, right?
Exactly.
And so
Yep.
I think it's just making sure that you have not only SEO now, but yeah, having these things, these backlinks, all of these
Yep.
other things to give your website credibility. And yeah, it may seem like it's not important to have a website, but all it does is give you just extra ammo when you are trying to establish being the authority. You know what I mean?
Right.
For sure.
And that's where I think blogging, honestly,
Yeah.
is coming back
Yep.
into play. When you first created a website, like 15 years ago, blogs were the deal, right? Like
Yep.
you had to be blogging. Then we kind of got away from that because it wasn't as important in SEO. But now, if you are searching for specific like lighting or styles and things like that, vendors, even venues. And us as a DJ company have done a blog post on a Sandia Event Center.
For sure.
And what we're hoping is that when somebody, goes and searches, the AI engines connect all the dots, right? And that you end up coming up as one of the suggested vendors or whatever because how does AI work? When you put in something for ChatGPT now, what I've noticed recently, instead of giving you what you are specifically looking for, it starts giving you like added suggestions
Yeah.
around that.
Definitely. So that's actually what I just did is typed into chat GPT wedding DJs in Albuquerque and it brought up highly ranked wedding DJs in Albuquerque.
Nice.
And here's what it said about Cutmaster Music specifically. One of the most recommended wedding DJ companies in Albuquerque, known for high energy performances, MC services, and lighting setups.
How nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that though. That's good, and that's awesome that we're in there. People are-
Exactly.
and we're searchable, and I think we're doing a good job as far as like stretching our arms out in a bunch of
Yep.
different places. Like now we're in like Spotify search engines too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And really putting ourselves in so many different webs.
Well, and I'm interested to see because in one of my previous 9 lives, I actually did web development, and I used to work on marketing for companies and doing SEO. And I'm interested to see where the industry of AI and search goes, because there's going to be companies that, like, there's SEO companies right now, right? And that's what they specifically do, is they figure out how to get you seen really in Google.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now there's going to be companies, and it's probably going to be those same types of companies that are going to be focused on how do you get seen in these AI engines, right? Which is it really is completely different than like Google. So
No, and I know, like, me personally, since you guys showed me Chat GPT, I've been using it nonstop, asking it questions that I would usually ask Google.
Mm-hmm.
It just gets me a faster
Faster.
answer, the answer I want.
yeah, you don't have to go scrolling down a page,
No,
right,
it
to
just
look for what you
so,
want.
like,
See, it's just evolving in terms of like how people are searching
for sure.
overall information, because even 10 years ago you'd go to Google, you type in keywords, and then you'd have to be really intentional about how your keyword
Yep.
search. You wouldn't be able to just type in a sentence and then it would give you your exact answer.
For sure.
Now you can type in an exact question and then it'll give you, and then like Chris is saying, suggestions and different
Yep.
things. So I know I do that a lot. It's sometimes if I want a better search, I'll dive deeper.
Yeah, same
But
here.
ChatGPT is an excellent place to start.
It is so incredible.
Okay, I just did something on the fly here.
All right.
got?
I'm
What do
interested
you got?
to see what this answer comes up with. Oh man, okay. I put in we're going to give some kudos to some people out there.
Woo woo.
If I was getting married, who would you recommend for a wedding planner in Albuquerque?
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Here's the top ones
the
that
spot.
came up.
Let's go.
Planning a wedding in Albuquerque can be made seamless with the assistance of experienced local wedding planners. Here are some reputable options to consider. First, La Luz Weddings and Events.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby.
Next, Lace and Bow Bridal Events.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. Love it.
They've got Complete Weddings and Events. This is what we're
That
talking
speaks
about.
to SEO.
An event company. This is what we would consider like a DJ competitor. Justin, kudos.
Yeah.
You know, you're coming up for a wedding, but they offer
That's what I'm
planning.
saying.
Yeah.
It's in their website that they offer
Yep.
planning specifically.
And it's picking up the keywords. Yep.
All right. Then there's Bethany Lynn Events. Then we got Black Bow Events, Tiffany Burke Events. We've worked with Tiffany a lot, and Orange September,
nice.
Cool.
which is Vicky.
Vicky.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So and that's it. That's all it gave me. So that's
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It gave me 7. So it's like, what do you have to do to get up into that? That's the equivalent of being in what Google used to call the 4 or 5 pack, the local 4 or 5 pack, the
Yep.
Mhm.
ones you see up top that are local, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, interesting. It's I'm interested to see where that goes, but just a reminder, make sure you're
Keep putting stuff out.
Put it
Put
Content.
it out. Yep.
yep.
And words. I feel like words are really, really important, whether it's in like descriptions on like YouTube videos, content on TikTok. All of these things are searched and put into one big bag when ChatGPT is looking for it. So yeah, and then like Chris is saying, blog writing still alive and well. And yeah, I would say that. And then I've heard too, I mean, podcasting is ultimately
Yeah,
a big one too.
Definitely.
Yep.
So I read it.
All right, so let's kind of go around the table here and see what you guys have
Cool.
come up with.
Yeah,
Nice.
let's do it.
What you got, Victoria?
All right, so I will start. And I will start with let's do one for vendors that I see that's very, very popular out there is Honeybook.
Oh, yeah.
Honeybook is an AI-driven client management tool that helps vendors streamline their bookings, contracts, and payments. So I've been seeing this one a lot on Instagram. I've been seeing a lot of people, market this and put this out for people. And I think this is good for people who want to start getting a little bit more solidified and start doing things, a little more correctly as far as their bookings, their contracts, and their
little more
payments.
organized.
Well, and
Way
really,
more organized, yeah.
it's a CRM. Is
Exactly.
what HoneyBook is, and
Yep.
so
What is a CRM?
So CRM is it's like a content manager,
Customer relations management tool,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, which allows you to, it's your hub for when your leads come in. It could even sometimes, in this case, HoneyBook, it's a lead generator,
Yep.
or can be used as a lead generator. But it's your hub that you keep all of your clientele, your information, your contact info. It'll do everything like with contracts. A lot of times with your payment portals.
Yep.
So, if you don't have a CRM, you definitely should.
Yes.
I've
Yeah.
never personally used HoneyBook. We have a different CRM that's tailored toward our DJ specific vertical.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of photographers and videographers use HoneyBook,
Use HoneyBook, yeah.
and
Yeah.
it seems to work out well for them.
I like it because it's a great tool to. I like what you're saying. Professionalize, level up. You
Yep,
know what I mean?
exactly.
It is overwhelming. I've done it myself. Manage the books, send out the inquiries, do
Yep.
all these different quotes. So when you can have it organized in one space, not only is it like kind of neatly filed in one area where you can bring all your
Yep.
ideas in one area and then kind of set it off, go do something else, but also too, professionalizes yourself, levels
Exactly.
yourself up, and really, really good tool.
Yeah.
HoneyBook.
Yeah, so I like that one. I
Nice.
think that's a cool one.
Okay.
It's probably only going to get more popular. So
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
All right.
Mine is going to be for the brides and grooms out there. This one was interesting because I just recently had a couple reach out to me for something that they want to do this year. I'm interested to see if this becomes more and more of a thing for ultimate guest engagement on a wedding day,
okay.
or anything really. But this is called S Start. We got to experience it at Wedding MBA.
yeah.
Right.
Where we went to the DJ takeover. They actually had, what was cool about this one is they had this guy on a photo booth walking around and taking the photos,
Yep.
right? But what it basically does is you take a photo and then you upload it to the screen live day of the wedding. So there's a lot of cool
Love it.
things. Yeah, it's real time sharing, and it basically guests scan a QR code and then they take a picture and it goes up, and then you can write best wishes, a bunch of different things, and it's all live. You can do like a live video feed. We did that. That was really cool because then you could see yourself on the screen on the TV. I liked it because it's not an app. You're not having to ask your guests to jump through a hoop. They just scan a QR, take the photo, and it's already
It's
done.
there.
They
Yep.
don't have to do any of that. So the being tied to a website, way better.
And Cutmaster Music can offer this, by the way, if for the
Yeah.
new couples that are out there looking for. I know Tony has a wedding coming up that recently asked about doing something.
Yeah, we're
You know,
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
love
so
it.
and then I put them onto this. They're going to go with it, and it's great. So post-event access is also really cool because you're able to create kind of like a little catalog and a photo album with all of the different photos and video messages. So it kind of doubles up as a guest book, but I mean, it's good to have a guest book as well. But I
Yeah.
like this because it's live, interactive way for them to like see the photos on. And
Definitely. And I feel like also too it's very helpful because like obviously photographers, videographers are there.
Mhm.
But it takes a while to get that content. So with that, you're kind of getting it instantly
in the moment,
in the
live,
moment
yeah.
live and seeing it in the moment live. So it just gives a different vibe.
Another cool thing is you can upload previously taken photos. So say
Photo of you on the beach 3 years ago.
Sure, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting, though. I got worried because what if a naughty photo slips through and then it's displayed for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So
No, yeah.
that's where
Great
but
point.
the
I
flip
think you
side,
can filter it, but filter them before though, right?
I don't know. I'd have to look into it more.
I'm pretty sure because I think that was asked. I remember in one of the conferences, and they were asking him about it. And yeah, you can have somebody that actually monitors them coming into like a laptop and then shoots them out.
Yeah.
So like you can, yeah,
That's great,
like
but
if you
I'm
have
DJing, so I don't want to be monitoring photos.
which is why you would have to have
Have an
somebody.
assistant,
You're gonna have to
yeah.
have an assistant that does it and
Yeah.
monitors photos
Definitely.
because maybe they don't want like sloppy drunk pics of
Yeah.
bride and groom.
Or
you
just
know.
even that prankster that loves to airdrop at the airport trying to make a
Exactly.
funny
Right.
at the
Thinking.
wedding.
Exactly. But the flip side, the positive is like, say they're getting ready photos, some of their favorite photos of them
Yeah.
together. They can upload all of that day of the
I love
wedding,
it.
you know, behind the scenes and stuff. So
You
there's
know-
good and bad, but I like what you're saying, having somebody filter.
And I feel like that makes it a little bit easier on us as well, because a lot of us, the day day, or not the day of, but the weeks leading up to the wedding, we're saying, what do we want on that screen? Do we want a monogram? Do we want a slideshow? And it makes it easier if they're wanting a slideshow to offer that because it's day of and all those pictures are coming in, or they can give us the photos that they want played and then add in those ones as well.
I'll do that during dinner. I've been doing that this past year where we'll say, give me a collection of all your photos, family members,
Love it.
friends, and we'll run that slideshow during dinner. What I've loved, this was so cool how it happened, is I might have talked about it in the past. I had a mom come up to me and say, during open dance, can you run the slideshow again? We were all the way in the back and we didn't really get to see the photos. Sure. So I rolled the slideshow and then they created this like half circle and everyone was like clapping to the high energy music, but they were all watching
Oh, that's
the
awesome.
slideshow for maybe 5 minutes or so.
Yep.
But everybody was engaged watching it. Ah,
Yeah.
ha, ha, yeah, and clapping. And I was just playing some like fun backbeat stuff.
Love it.
But it just happened so randomly and organically. I was
Yeah.
thinking like, you want me to play the slideshow right in the middle of open dance? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's just kind of one of those things that it created a memory that was so
Yeah.
unique in the moment. So
A
that
cool
was
moment,
cool too.
yeah. I love that.
But yeah, that's really cool. And then another fun one that we've done is first dance photos of the couple.
Oh, yeah.
A slideshow with like 10 photos to slide while
Right.
the guests or the couple's doing their first dance.
That's so cool.
Or daughter with the father. 10
Yeah.
pics of that. Mother, daughter, mother, son, all that stuff.
That's cool. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But yeah, eStart, and make sure you're looking up the instant spotlight feature. They have a bunch of different other ones. I felt like this one really was the best one that they offered.
Cool.
Cool.
Love that.
All right, so here's a fun one for you.
Nice.
right.
What do you got?
I thought this was interesting, and wondering if anybody has ever done this out there or seen it. But how about AI-powered deepfake toasts? Okay, so this
Ooh.
could be controversial.
Interesting.
Using an AI-generated speech to recreate a lost loved one's voice for a special message.
Ooh.
Woo!
Could be a little touchy.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I
Could
was,
be good, could be bad.
it's like, man, could you imagine like
No.
passed away grandfather's voice?
My mind went
You know.
a whole different direction. I was thinking
Okay, where did your mind go?
Arnold Schwarzenegger giving you a toast at your wedding day.
Okay, still cool. I love
Yeah,
it.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's funny.
Right? I
Okay.
thought like, oh wow, you could deep
You're-
fake a celebrity
Yeah.
and give you a shout out on
I
your
mean,
wedding.
I guess you could, but I think the idea behind this is that, like
Grandma, an
yeah,
auntie or something.
exactly. Or maybe like, mother, father,
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
Right? Like,
Definitely.
Have you seen
Definitely.
those AI tools that will like move old photos and they'll like put
yeah,
movement
and they
on
put movement to them.
them?
Yep.
Yeah.
Seen that and like parents will start crying.
Yeah, no, I.
So
Or you put them on their screen and grandfather's talking to you. Like,
Yeah.
it's moving.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, right? But
Yeah.
like
Interesting.
different ways AI could be integrated. Like I thought that one when I came across it was
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
huh.
That reminds me of an episode of the Kardashians where Kanye got Kim for her 40th birthday a whole hologram of her dad.
Oh, wow.
Movement, talking, hey, Kim.
Before
Yeah.
he was a she.
Yeah, before all the stuff.
Oh
so-
no, like her real
her
dad.
real dad.
I'm
Her-
thinking of Bruce Jenner.
That's
No,
funny.
they just have to drag him in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so it was like interesting, but it goes to what you're saying, like AI generating, somebody that may be gone or
Mhm.
just different things. It's interesting.
Give me Tupac. Give him the toast at my.
Yeah, right.
Tupac
Exactly.
hologram,
Yeah,
that's what I
yep,
want.
Yep.
That'd be fun. See, that's AI performances.
There we go. Yeah, see that you can have Tupac perform.
Post Malone
Yeah.
opening up the wedding day.
During our
Yeah.
first dance, let's welcome
Enjoy this hologram of
welcome
Shakira.
Biggie Smalls.
Yeah. I love
That's
that.
funny.
That's good.
That would be really funny. I
Yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
could see some projection and hologramming coming into play,
For sure.
whatever that may look like.
Definitely.
Like an evolution of projection mapping.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see what that looks like
Yeah.
Yeah.
from now on or in the future.
All right. That was a fun one.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
Dope. I love that one. So this one is for the wedding couples.
Nice.
This site is called Zola. It is an AI-assisted wedding planner with checklists, vendor recommendations, and budgeting tools. So this site is really cool because it lets you put everything all into one. So you could do your registry, you can do your website, and it also allows you to do invites. So you could either do those e-invites or you can do paper paper, which you can order from the website.
Nice.
So this is kind of just a streamline of everything for you, so you're not having to do this here and this there and make a registry on this website and all that.
Yeah.
It kind of just does it all for you. And there's also, some cool things about this one where you don't have to pay. So the web builder is actually free.
Nice.
So it, save you a little money there if you're looking
You
to
can build like a wedding website.
a wedding website. Yep. You
Nice.
can build your wedding website on there. So yeah, and they offer that for free, which is really, really cool if you're working on your budget and trying to save, some money in some spots.
Nice. Seems like a good place to really organize all of it and
Exactly.
almost like the honey book for wedding planning.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I love that. It really helps you. I feel like it can be so overwhelming, so many different things you have to think about and remember and also not think of right now. And wedding
Yeah.
planning is such a long. It's not so long, but it's a longer process. So you tend to table certain things. So it's nice to be able to come back to a place and be like, oh yeah, this is where we left off here. This is where we left off here.
Definitely. And if you're working on a budget, this is kind of like
Oh,
the
yeah.
wedding planner for you.
Yeah.
So it helps you out in terms of like what needs to be planned, what we need to do in certain times and this and that. So this one's cool. Seems very budget friendly from what I can see.
Nice.
I actually have not gone into it and, messed with it at all because, I don't have a need to right now.
Okay.
But it does
Get the idea.
seem, yeah, it does seem like it's very budget friendly. They do have a lot of free perks, and then it looks like they have like add-ons that you could pay for as well.
Cool.
Yeah, so curious. I mean, you're getting married soon. Have you guys dove into any like a Zola or Wedding Wire the Knot? Any of those? Have you started any?
No.
doing any of that
Shout
stuff?
out Shelby.
Yeah.
I have a planner, and she gave us a whole booklet, a whole thing.
Cool.
We have all of that from her, and it's awesome. It's her portal, and basically it's customized for us, and I love it because it really helps us have peace of mind. It's basically that,
Definitely.
but in her form. And having all, and so there's like checklists. There's things that you need to have at 6 months, at 12 months out. Things
Okay.
you don't even need to think about until 3 months out.
Yeah.
And so I've really loved that in terms of like the planning process. But yeah, I have a sheet,
Yeah. And
a Google sheet. Is
I'd be
Yeah.
curious to know if it's something that they had made, or I know there's like the Zola.
It's well done, and it's not
So
short.
it's probably I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shelby, but it might be white labeled. Where
I don't know what that means.
where somebody's already created the software, but they don't put their name on it,
Ah.
and you're
Oh.
allowed to purchase it, and then you put your
Yeah.
branding and everything
Yeah.
Cool.
on it.
I mean,
So
it's really
Yeah,
good.
that's
But I
dope.
love where your head's at. Say
Yeah.
you can't, that's not in your budget, right?
Yep.
This is an excellent tool for you to take advantage of and not feel overwhelmed or like, oh, I can't do that. You know what I mean? You can do that,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely.
I love that. It's a
And
good
it
one.
lets you save money so you can
Mhm.
go into getting the DJs you want.
Yeah.
That were maybe out of budget, but aren't out of budget now because of a
Yeah,
website
baby.
There we go.
like Zola.
Uh-huh.
So,
Love it.
yeah.
cool.
Perfect. Okay. Next one. Mine is called June.ai. This is, think Pinterest, but AI. So basically, what you do is you tell it different ideas on what inspire you for wedding design, event design. This could be for anything, honestly.
Cool.
It was really cool because it was like home interior design or all these different things. But then it'll give you, so basically you tell it what you want in a few words, then it'll dive in a little bit more on vibe, aesthetic, colors, how do you want it to look and
Okay.
feel, and then it'll give you suggestions based on that locally. Okay, if you're looking for uplighting, you're looking for drapery, you're looking for floral, whatever that may be, here are some websites that can help you build that.
I like
And then it acts as a Pinterest board that you can just feed ideas to.
Okay.
So it's a visual, and it'll AI generate some things. It'll search some stuff online. But I thought this was a cool design tool that I had never. We're making this episode, so you go digging for research for AI tools, and I was like, oh, this is Pinterest, AI Pinterest.
Yeah, I like it.
And it's not exactly AI Pinterest, but the way they're presenting it is very that. The look,
It's that vibe.
Mhm.
Okay.
it looks like
Cool.
that, but it's super user friendly. It doesn't feel overwhelming, and you can really dive in on like dial in on what kind of style you
Yeah.
want. That's what I'm trying to
And
say.
I feel like, even if you do use Pinterest a lot, it could be easy if you're trying it to do that. It might be easy to get lost in the sauce
Totally.
and everything be scattered and here and there. With that, it seems like you could really fine tune, like it's just for what you're looking for your wedding day.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I'm not sure if you can, but I think possibly, I would imagine so. You go to Pinterest, find something you like, copy the link, throw it in there, and say,
Cool.
here's inspiration. Go.
Yeah. For
You know what I
sure.
mean? So I really liked that one. That one was a unique design one because I feel like design can be something you really care about, but you don't necessarily think about or prioritize right at the beginning. Or I don't know, some brides
sure.
do, some couples don't. But yeah, you want to make sure that that design looks really good too.
Yeah. I like it.
I've got another one here for vendors out there. How many of you have either have a podcast like this, or you've created really long form video content, maybe that's like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes long, right? But you wanted to break it up into some little clips. For those of you that have never used this tool, it's called Opus. We've used it many times, and what's really cool, and I know Tony can speak a little bit more on this too, is you dump in your long form video. The AI generator goes through 10 minutes, whatever, of video footage, and it'll give you, usually I think it's 10 clips that it finds has gone through with AI generation, and it will actually cut the clips for you. It'll give you the transcript of what's said. You can
Vertical.
you can adjust it.
Nice.
It is super nice. Like
I
it just
love
time saver.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Opus Clip. It's one of those things that, yeah, it's a time saver. We have these interactions in these podcasts, but sometimes it's hard to remember every single thing we talked about and all of the highlights
For
we have.
sure.
So it's nice to have that. What I like to do is run it through Opus. It'll spit out 10 of them. I'll go through them, and then I'll be like, ooh, that's a good one. I'll take the video, and then I'll throw it in Premiere, and then I'll formalize it to make it look
Opus. How do you spell that?
OPUS. So the
clip?
site is www.opus.pro.
pro.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a free version. There's a paid version. Just do the basic paid version. That'll
Yeah.
get it done. If you want, it can do all of the work for you also, though, if you go fully pro, where it'll cut it up, and it's really, really nice.
Okay.
But yeah, I love Opus Clip for that exact reason, where you're not having to sit there and rewatch the podcast,
Yeah.
rewatch the conversation we actually had.
Definitely.
Sit
Like,
there
oh,
for
yeah,
an
that's a good
hour.
one.
I know I said it somewhere.
Yes,
Kind of
where
towards
was
the
it?
end.
Yep. What I do now is I take notes while we're doing this. So I have a timer here, and I'm like, okay, at 45 minutes, that's where he sits there.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah,
Chris made a fool of himself right at 45 minutes.
no, Opus Clip is a really, really good one. And while I have this fresh in my mind, another really good one for AI voice generation is 11 Labs. Have you guys ever heard of that one?
Labs. No.
Haven't heard of that one.
This one's nice because you can create those like TikTok voiceovers without having to do it through TikTok. You can create all of your own sentences. It's a really, really good tool. I don't think I've paid for it yet, and it has a lot of good features.
Okay.
We've used it a few times for like voiceover work and different things, but you can have
Okay.
like Snoop Dogg narrating your video or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
and there's a bunch of different options for it, but 11 Labs, you can even record your voice and then manipulate it and create something different. I've done it to, like I made a sound sample, like you're now listening to DJ Zia. It sounds like a girl, but it's just me.
Nice.
I
Okay.
did that in
That's cool.
in CapCut. It has
cool.
that voice AI generation now, and I did
Nice.
that with my own. So I actually created one of our videos
Yeah.
that is on Instagram, and it narrates, right? Like, so it does the little captions, and it's my voice that's doing it, but it's my voice. It's my AI voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, it's crazy how there's a lot of good tools to help streamline your social content and just continually get stuff out, because you'll see a lot of these professional podcasters or people who are putting content out a lot of times. They're having these tools that help them kind of
Right.
For
generate
sure.
more, you know?
AI me is way better than real me.
Yeah.
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 Definitely.
That's funny.
Same.
So coming onto the show next week.
Yeah.
I mean-
AI Chris.
Our special guest.
That's right.
Yep.
He's way more handsome. Okay.
Cool.
see, Victoria.
Yeah, I got another one. This is called Wed Texts. This is an AI powered SMS reminder and communication tool for your guests. I loved this one because there is a lot of things you want to remind your guests of. For your big day, and it just really helps kind of streamline not having to make a group chat with 200 people, 300 people, 400
yes.
people. So this one's really cool. And just those little reminders like, hey, everyone, it's so-and-so. We just wanted to remind you that our ceremony is unplugged. So make sure to turn off those cell phones
Yeah.
and put them on Do Not Disturb
Yeah.
or whatever, just little things like, hey, we are...
Thinking announcements like
Yep.
specific things like, hey, our rehearsal dinner's at this time. This
Exactly.
is the dress code.
Yep.
Or maybe, oh, you have 2 more months before our booking goes
So-
out.
yep.
They'll get windows for like hotels and stuff. So
Yep.
Gift
booking-
boxes in the
gift
corner of the
box
room.
reminders.
Yeah, little things,
Yeah.
little details.
Here's a link to our honey fund.
Exactly,
know.
just like that. Even if they use what we offer, the Vibo app, for open dancing, we have the link where the guests can make
Yeah.
requests. We could send that out with something like this, or they could send this out with something like this instantly to everybody all at once.
Genius.
So yeah, it's just super, super cool. I really liked this one. It just seems helpful for announcements or any updates or just anything that has to do with the wedding in general,
Yes.
to get through to all their guests. So
No, I absolutely love that idea
Yeah.
of putting them in a text chain, getting all your guest numbers, and saying, I always say, I will dance if the DJ plays this song. And then you give them the link.
Yep.
But that's money because then you're not having to reach
Yes,
out to
Right.
reach
everybody
out
or-
and
yeah.
copy and paste the link
Yeah.
10 million times. And
I love that.
yeah, it just seems super helpful. Definitely.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. Me, I've got this one called Daisy Chat. I really like this one because it basically helps you with communicating with couples. It had the mass text messaging, the AI-powered chatbots, a dedicated waiting line, unlimited texting. So it's basically on the same as yours. And then the other one I had was ChatGPT.
Yeah.
This one I think is going to point you in so many different directions, but it's important to know how to prompt it as well,
Yeah.
and really give it the right information so it can give you back the right information.
Definitely.
So here's one, getting off the AI tip for just a second here, and more on the tech side of things. I would say within the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, I've seen more of the 3D printing come into play.
Ooh.
So 3D printing, decor, or cake toppers, right?
Mhm.
Centerpieces. This is saying even custom design dresses. I think that's crazy, but like cake toppers and centerpieces and things that are meaningful to you personally, right? Like,
Mhm.
and might be more affordable to do with a 3D printer.
Yeah,
some
I
things
like it.
that.
Yeah.
I like that one. Definitely. I have a few more
got?
that you guys, I know we use this a lot, and this is for vendors specifically, but Canva Pro, it offers AI tools.
Mhm.
So it's great for design, social media posts, any kind of branding material, and,
This is for everyone.
this is for
brides too.
everyone. Exactly. Brides too. Making wedding invitations. Yep.
Any signage.
And AI is so cool because you type what you have in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case with Canva, it brings out, suggestions for flowers, for this squiggly line, whatever you're
Mhm.
trying to add to it. So yeah, this one could be cool for vendors, for couples, for really anybody out there. If you have a brand, if you do social media, it's just super helpful to have Canva Pro that has AI tools on it.
Yeah.
Which has also recently just been integrated into ChatGPT.
Yes.
So-
it has.
So yeah, you
That's
can
right.
actually feed ChatGPT prompts, and then you can take that, and it'll go and take all of the media to Canva, and then you're able to manipulate it, move it around.
So cool.
That's always been a challenge when you're
Yep.
generating these AI images. Is you're like, this is cool, but that part is not cool.
Yeah,
This
it
is
says something
cool.
weird.
Yeah.
But I would like the ring on my hand to be on the 7th finger, not the 6th finger.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we were trying to design the what's on the playlist, we got a bunch of great inspiration, but we ultimately just went to Canva and made it ourselves.
Yeah,
Exactly,
because
yeah.
I mean, what's on the pray list was not.
Yeah.
Yes,
as-
Right? It would
exactly.
just
didn't have quite the same feel that I was
having to
looking
be
for.
like, spell it correctly. Spell it correctly.
So let's
And it
throw
never
that
would.
out there to all our people using AI.
Yeah.
Make sure you are double checking what's on there because at first glance you don't catch it.
Mhm.
Then you really start staring at it and it says what's on the pray list.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
weird
a
little
that's a-
things that AI
That's
does.
our other podcast.
Yeah.
It's so funny how that works.
It's our holy
almost
podcast.
every time. Every time
Jesus.
you're making any of those images, they look great for 1 second, and then you really look,
Yep.
and then you're like, "That's weird. That's
Mhm.
weird. That's off." But it's getting better every day.
is.
Yeah.
And even in just the 6 months or even the year, AI's it's moving too fast. But as long as you're taking advantage of it and not letting it run all over you, I feel like a lot of these websites and tools make it easy for the user.
For sure.
So just make sure you're understanding what you're trying to get into. Do a little crash course. Start at ChatGPT. I'm telling you, I use this thing for everything. And if there's something that's so intimidating, explain it to me like I'm 12 years old, like I'm 15
Yep.
years old. They'll break it down to its simplest forms, so you don't feel like an idiot.
My
And
favorite thing to tell Chat GPT
Yeah.
is dumb it down.
Yeah.
Always.
it
It'll
down.
give me this big giant explanation and I'm like, dumb it down.
Yeah.
And it does. It's
Too
like,
many words.
yeah, too wordy, whatever. And it really does, help in that sense because, I can't speak for you, I don't know, but like me, I have a hard time comprehending content if it's too much, if it gives me too much information. So, it's cool with these AI tools that you could really tell it things like dumb it down,
Yeah.
less words. Can you explain it to me in a more
Simplify it, yeah.
simplified way?
Be
So,
like
yeah.
information overload. Sometimes.
Exactly. No,
No,
definitely.
that can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually like, can you just do this for me, ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it for me.
Or send me to someone who can. Send me the website.
Yeah.
AI tool.
Yeah, give me your top wedding planners.
Have you guys heard of AI agents at all? They kind of touched on them on Wedding MBA. Did you guys hear about that?
No.
I didn't know.
So AI agents are basically online employees that you can program them to do tasks, all kinds of different things. I'm not perfect on it, so I didn't even bring it up. But I've been seeing that people are using AI agents to do certain things, and you can build AI agents to answer emails,
Cool.
reach out to certain things. Like if, say, a inquiry comes in, the AI agent can reach out to them almost immediately to where it feels like we're emailing them, but it's just the computer doing it.
I love it.
Alright.
Yeah, so I thought that was super interesting. I think those are a little deeper. I think you gotta
Super deep.
build these things. Maybe know a little bit about coding. I'm not sure. I'm
Yeah.
thinking it'll get easier as it goes. But I was curious if you guys had. heard
Yeah,
about
no,
it.
I haven't, but that seems
Well, I
very
see.
helpful.
I see it going that way for sure, because one of the AI automations that I saw here was chatbots and virtual assistants, and
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that currently use these, and that's really what it is, right? So it's going to help you out with like customer service, and it's just a time saver for us.
For sure.
So if you, we've got a lot of things that we're doing during the day, and if you're having to answer, especially for companies that are larger, get a lot of inquiries that come through, and if you have a virtual assistant, an AI chatbot that can do all of that for you and actually do it at a high level and high quality,
Yep.
then it's a no-brainer.
Why not?
Exactly. Yep.
I just feel like there's sometimes where we're like in a flow state working on something, and then an inquiry come in. I have to answer that. So then you like switch your brain to there, and then you got to get back into the rhythm
For
of what you were doing
sure.
before, and so it's great to have those tools for help, and I love the one that I saw on TikTok was interesting was photographer. They say they'll shoot between 3,000 to 5,000 photos a day
Whew.
on a wedding day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
but
crazy.
They don't want to miss the moments, and I can understand that.
Definitely.
The AI agent will go through it and find duplicates, some, and then give them, maybe he's digging through 800 as opposed to 500.
I know current
Yeah, I like
photographers
that.
right now that we work with on the daily are using AI because you can train it to edit in your style.
Oh,
and
cool.
so it takes all, let's just say 3,000 of your photos, you upload them to the generator, and instead of
style.
it taking
Learn
6
it.
months
Yeah.
to get these photos back, this is my style, edit them all this way, boom,
Monday
done.
morning.
I love it.
And
Your wedding's on Saturday, you get your photos Monday morning.
And it's just great for these businesses because it's a high turnover rate.
Yeah.
So that means more business for you,
Mhm.
more clients you can take, more, time that you don't have to sit there editing 800 pictures to find that right one or whatever. It just really, really helps. So that way you can get the most out of your business, get the most
Exactly.
out of your time.
Yes.
So I love it. I love the way it's going with AI, honestly. I do.
So,
It's
and
helpful.
I'm curious for you vendors out there, put it in the chat,
Yep.
hit us up. What are your thoughts on AI? Something that has been a little bit of a controversy in our vertical is AI going to take over DJing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
It's one of those things where you can. I think they'll get better because we've seen it, song suggestions, right, and all these things. But I don't know. You need to read a crowd. I don't know if you can
Yes.
teach a robot how to read a crowd.
For sure.
That's where I think the sauce is right now.
I agree. And every situation's different.
Every
like
situation's
sometimes we've had to pivot in a whole different direction at events back to what Tony's saying, like I don't think a robot could necessarily do that.
Well, on paper, this song is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But every person's unique, and you may drop a song, and they're going to look at the AI robot and think, "What is this? Why would they play
Yeah.
this?"
I think it's going to AI DJs are going to take over certain areas, not in
Yeah.
the wedding industry, for the reasons that you just said. But I think like at your typical bar,
Yep.
the bowling alley, whatever, like
Yep.
places like that, AI is going to take over. You're going to be able to get rid of actual people in there and save money in that area. But for a wedding and for events where you have to actually get the read of a room, you have to look at people's eyes, you have to be able to feel emotions, taking requests and things like that. And honestly, just setting up the gear. Now you could get around that, right? Because then, okay, if I have an AI robot that does all that, the stuff that we do, then you just put in a sound system and lighting and
Just turn it on.
and turn it on, and AI will take care of that as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can see some of that happening in the future, but there is something to be said for in the moment taking your request and
Yep.
taking this person's request and being like, you know what? I can mash that
Yeah.
up right now.
Yep.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I feel like too people are like getting exhausted of the future and
Yep.
the I saw this is random, but it's like a McDonald's was so beautiful in like 1995 with all these different colors
The
and animals and
Hamburglar.
the Hamburglar,
Yeah.
play places,
Yep.
and now it's like just minimal gray, very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think like that is it speaks to where you go to a robot or a different show where they have the AI DJ. That's great and all, but I think human will now be more of a unique experience
For
because
sure.
it's gonna get streamlined.
So it's
you know what
funny
I
that
mean?
you
Definitely.
said that because we learned at Wedding MBA that Gen Zers want more human interaction.
Mhm.
Yep.
So they are starting to see that I believe, if I remember correctly, that the age for engaged couples for it's like it's coming back down because you are seeing more of the Gen Z. They're looking for more connection, more human interaction.
Mhm.
Where millennials got away from that.
Yeah.
Like they,
Yeah.
everything was right here. You didn't have to.
We're all afraid of phone calls.
You grew up
Yep.
you grew up talking to people here on and through
Sure.
text,
Yeah.
and,
Yep.
didn't want to have actual. If you didn't have to see somebody or
Yep.
interact with them, that's the way the
It's true. It
millennials.
was the instant message, then it evolved to
Exactly.
like social, MySpace, Facebook, phones.
Yep.
It's never been.
Back in my day,
Yeah.
I had to go to class with someone sitting next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you went on the playground, and if you wanted to talk to that girl, like I had to go talk to her, and it was
Yeah.
like, dude, just go talk to her.
Now,
Yeah.
Talk to
back in my day, we were just texting them.
Yeah,
Yep. It's sliding them DMs.
Yeah.
we were on the slide. I was actually literally on the
He was
slide.
Hey, baby.
I would have to go down the slide. Wait, she's down there at the bottom of the hill. I'm gonna go on this slide. I'm gonna go talk to her.
Oh man, I remember
Yeah.
getting in trouble for we only got like 500 texts a month or something.
Yeah,
Oh
It
yeah.
said like $2,000 or something back when they like charged you.
you
for
had to
that.
wait till
Yeah.
9 o'clock for your
to
minutes.
make free minutes. Yes,
Yep.
I had
Good
to pay for
times.
it up
Crazy
until that
stuff.
it's
Yeah.
funny.
time.
Nice. Anybody
Yeah.
got any other like good ones?
I think I had a few, but they were covered in other areas, if that makes
Good,
sense.
cool.
Like we kind of talked about it. So
Yeah, like we had the same one for the messaging.
exactly.
I think that speaks to having good. I think it speaks to having clear communication with your guests
For
at
sure.
your wedding, so that they have clear expectations of what is going to be happening,
Yep.
and then no one is forgetting about certain things and all
Yep.
that. But yeah, I would say my last thing or my tip for ChatGPT is ask it to ask you questions. Say, I want this result, but ask me 5 questions that will give you a better result or have you fine tune it, right? So
I like it.
I do
Allow
that a
me
lot.
to help you to help me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ask me questions to give you a better result, or also tell it you are this person. Give it the role of that person. That will allow it to put itself in that mindset.
For
You
sure.
are a social media manager for one of the top businesses in the country. What is a good caption for this post regarding
Yeah,
this, right?
okay,
And then
cool.
it'll spit it out that
I
way.
love it.
Yeah.
Dope.
I dig it. Well, I think we could put a bow on this one.
think
We would
so.
love to hear the feedback from you all. How are you using AI? How are you using technology? What are you seeing?
Yep.
Anything cool out there that we should know about?
Let us know.
I saw augmented reality a little bit too, where it was like live at the dinner table. They would like have their phone up and then things would happen.
Oh.
So I know,
that was cool.
actually, we have a photo booth. I've never used it because it's an extra an add-on that you have to pay for, but it's augmented reality where you can be. So you could have the couple and take like a video or a picture of the couple, right? And then they're in the picture like with or in the video like with you, like doing like a
Interesting.
GIF or a boomerang,
Yeah.
and they're doing stuff, right? Like,
Mhm.
but you could do it with that. But you see them. The first time I ever saw this was actually at a professional sporting event where you had the players,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
And it was the
that's cool.
players, so it was like
cool.
Steph Curry like doing this behind you and
Yeah.
stuff, right? Like,
That's smart.
It's cool.
yeah,
I
that's
like
pretty
it.
cool. So
Nice.
yeah.
Cool.
All right, I think
Alrighty.
that's gonna do it for this week.
Love it.
Yep.
Let's do it again next week. See ya.
Later. Later.
Peace.
What's on the playlist, baby? What's